All right, now we'll move on to roll call.
Councilmember Mazzoni,
Here.
Councilmember Palfini,
Here.
Councilmember Virasan,
Present.
Councilmember Wetstein has said that she's running behind due to the fog, and Mayor Parham.
Present.
I'll make a motion to excuse Melissa till she shows up.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Do we have to do a voice?
Oh, you have to do a roll call vote tonight?
Yeah. Councilmember Palfini,
Yes.
Councilmember Virasan,
Yes.
Mayor Parham,
Aye.
Councilmember Mazzoni.
Yes.
All right, now we're on to the acceptance of agenda and urgency items. Do we have any items from the council that need to be amended?
No changes.
No changes?
Not for me.
I'll make a motion for the acceptance of the agenda as written.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call
Oh,
vote?
Roll call. Okay.
Councilmember Palfini,
Aye.
Councilmember Virasan,
Yes.
Mayor Parham,
Aye.
Councilmember Mazzoni.
Yes.
All right, at this point, we will take any non-agenda public comment. Please come up to the podium, and we will give anyone in the audience their 3 minutes for public comment.
James Striegel, 2601 North Old Stage Road. I really like your new digs here. This is a nice place for the meetings. I don't need to say our thoughts and prayers go out to the people who were laid off at the mill unexpectedly. And especially right before the holiday season, it's a heartbreak. And it's a gut punch that this city did not need. And, but businesses do what they have to do. This town was in rough shape before the closure. It's in double rough shape now. We need to have some new projects, some new ideas to bring in business. I think I have something to offer on that. We were going to maybe put my ideas on the agenda for next month. I'd like to push that back to the February meeting, if possible.
If that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I want to get a few more ducks in a row before I put together the PowerPoint presentation. And I have an idea that could bring in literally thousands and thousands of visitors to this town every year. Provide a tax base for the city, employment, and hopefully some hope for the residents, because right now that's right before the holiday season. To be without hope is a real hard thing. So I know in the past council, Ken and the other councilors did a lot of work to fix up downtown Weed, the sidewalks, the street lamps, the park. But if all the businesses down there are empty, all that hard work you guys did is for naught. So I want to try and do my part and do whatever I can to bring in people to enjoy with the work that you've done and the work that the council and the city will be doing in the future to bring the city back. I'd like to extend an invitation to, I've got a 40-acre parcel on the west edge of town that I have some interesting ideas to develop, and I would like to take the council individually or collectively up to see it. It's one thing to see it on a PowerPoint, on a drone video, on a YouTube video, but to be there, you get a much stronger idea of what I'm trying to do, what I'm proposing. So anyway, I'd like to wish you all a peaceful holiday season, and especially the families and everyone affected. It's not just the people that were laid off that are affected, it's the whole city. It's the businesses that they frequented, it's the restaurants, the shops and everything. So our thoughts and prayers go out to all of them, and I'll do whatever I can to put my property and my ideas to work for the city of Weed. I'll be contacting the council members over the next month, and if we get a break in the weather, you can come take a look. Thank you very much, and happy holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any other public comment this evening?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
permission to speak.
course.
Thank you. I just wanted to let you know, he did invite me to tour his property on Friday. Some of his ideas are an amphitheater, a spiritual center on his property. One of the challenges he has is half of it's in county and half of it's in the city. So he is requesting annexation in addition to his properties. So he at least requested an audience with you to present his ideas, and I thought it would be good for us to hear them. So,
Excellent.
thanks.
Hi. Good evening.
Good
For
evening.
those of you that don't know me, my name is Austin. I'm the director of the Siskiyou Humane Society. Some of you I do know. I just wanted to come up and introduce myself and let you all know that I'm here and that I'm just kind of put a face to the organization. I wanted to let you all know that we are a private nonprofit. We are not associated with like the United States Humane Society or the ASPCA. We're not funded by them. We are what we are here in Mount Shasta, and so we only take in cats and dogs from Siskiyou County. All of our animals come from within this county. I don't have a number for weed so far. I have the data back in my office. It's not compiled yet, but overall for this year, we've had 650 cats and dogs come through the shelter on top of our 7 clinics that we did this year. And we did roughly about 70 to 80 cats and dogs at each clinic. So hopefully next year we're just as successful and we can do a lot more. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course,
Permission to speak again, Mr. Mayor?
of course.
I want you to know that Austin did invite me to meet with him, and we had lunch, and then I asked Chief to come talk to us because I want to negotiate an MOU with the Humane Society within the next month or so to have them help us out with animal sheltering and things of that nature to get that off of the police department's plate so they can focus on other things. Chief joined us for that brief conversation, but I will be reaching out to Austin if you're willing, because I think that would be a good partnership to have.
Agreed. I think there's a lot of opportunity there to help the community with our issues with
Great.
stray cats and dogs in homes.
Thank you. Yeah, and we do have 2 MAUs currently, one with Mount Shasta and one with Dunsmuir, and happy to talk about more. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's good.
Lots of good news this evening. Do we have any other public comment?
Namaste, yatae, and aloha.
Hey, you lost us already.
Aloha.
You sly dog, you.
My name is Clay Neil Pononui Hano Afi Here Garrigan.
I'm sorry, I need you to spell that, please, then?
My name is Afa for short, AFA, Afa.
Last name?
Garrigan, Garrigan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Resident of Mount Shasta, nice to meet all of you. Thank you for coming. It's a really important time. I used to be a logger, so I used to drive a log truck 3-4 years, and I've been to Roseburg 1,000 times. And I've dropped logs here, and so it holds a really, really, really special place for me in my heart. And all of my friends, and all of the families here, and especially at Christmas. And it's tough news. And my heart just goes out to everybody in the community. And I know the council is doing everything they can, and the planning commission doing everything they can. And even though it's not quite on this agenda yet, I know, it takes a month to put anything on this agenda, so I'm sure it's in the future somewhere. That solutions with planning commissions and solutions with council members are going to take drastic and emergency decision-making extremely quickly. I think everybody has figured out that there's a massive ripple effect that happens from that mill going down to property taxes from people that's building foundations and no longer building houses, taking a legal check and going, which means property taxes will be down. Sales taxes will be obviously affected because for a lot of reasons. And so I'm going to guess somewhere in the near future we're going to be talking about the increase of property or sales tax in order to remedy situations. I'm sure you guys already know about Amazon's little thing that's going on, where the distribution of all online sales tax is now going to Reading instead of our small town, which usually is around $1 million to $2 million, depending on every small town. I'm an advocate in Mount Shasta, and I run a for-profit, that was a thing today, called the YEAH movement, Y-E-A-H, Yes to Expedite Affordable/Alternative Housing. And so we put all the potlucks and the fundraising dinners together to help the tiny homes on wheels get pushed through city planning and city council, and it is approved. And this Saturday, which is a couple days, we're going to be having a tiny house on wheels at Soul Connections. Upstairs is the event, and people can come and take a tour. Now, it's tricky to have, Mount Shasta is pushing income-based qualified housing, 24 tiny townhomes, and worker-qualified housing at the Landing, which is about 50 units, and alternative housing. I know the time. Alternative housing is just tiny house on wheels. It's just one aspect of alternative housing. I know it's tricky to push these things now in Weed, but I just want you guys to know that everybody's invited to come and take a look at what Mount Shasta might be doing to help with the housing thing. And I know in this crisis time, all of my prayers goes to the families in Weed here and to the council members here and all supporting staffs here. I'll be helpful as best I can. Thank you. Love and light.
Can you, what the time for the seminar or?
5 p.m. So you just go to Soul Connections. There's an upstairs, a little event place that can house 50 people occupancy. We're having tacos. This one, Councilman Casey's coming. Councilman Jeffrey came last month. It's a Q&A for the people, 20, 30 questions. We had 15 people there last time. But this time, we're going to have the same thing, but we're going to have a tiny house on wheels parked in front on Main Street so people can walk through and see if it's big enough, if it's small enough, if it fits their lifestyle or not. And, that. But, yeah.
Can I get the date one more time, please?
It's this Saturday, so in 2
Saturday,
days.
okay, thank
the
you.
13th.
All right.
And everybody's invited. It might not fit for everybody's lifestyle, but it's a solution to some. So thank you again. Love and light. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Do we have any other public comment this evening? All right. Now we'll move on to council member announcements, meeting reports, and comments. And let's start with Councilmember Mazzoni. Well, he's got a connection.
No, I have nothing for this month.
All right. Councilmember Verasan.
Yes, so this month has been, for the mill that closed down, it really does have an effect on all of us, especially, the community here. I've had friends and people that worked for the mills for over 20 years, and I've had people that had came in and said, what do I do? So, but I also really appreciate all of the people that stepped up and says that we have to do something. So I have posters and things at the restaurant. There are people that are trying to do some fundraising, gathering donation, toys, etc., for the kids, especially for the kids, because I have young children, and I think it's important that we come together and communicate as a whole, as a community. It really is something that we really got to come together. I mean, it is a huge impact, and within that, I think we can find lights and find a positive growth within the community. So I'm looking forward to be able to be a part of that and gather anything to help with the children that the parents not going to have anything to put under the Christmas trees for the little ones. So I feel that that's important, and Golden Hour did reach out with me, and they do have some things that they are working with a lot of the female that wants to come together as a motherhood, kind of stick together, brainstorm, and see what we can go from here. So I have that available at my restaurant as well. So I appreciate it. That's all I have for now. It's devastating, but I feel like I have hope that we are going to come together, and this is going to be a positive thing. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Councilmember Whitstein.
I do want to reiterate just some of the things that Pet happened to share, but this currently is the season of hope, and it's devastating to hear that people that we represent are struggling during this period of time. However, I do want to make sure that it's communicated that there is hope in this season, and even though we are trying to deal with the devastating effects, I just want to reassure all of our constituents that we were in communication immediately with our city manager. The mayor and I had multiple conversations, and we started to look for the hope. And I just want everyone to know that there are things working in the background, that we are trying to have hope in this trying time and trying to eventually make this a positive turnaround for the city of Weed. So we are working hard to make sure that we bring that, and I just encourage everyone to please have hope during this time, because I do think we'll be able to see it through in the end.
Mayor Pro Tem Palfini.
Yes, in light of all these little conversations we're having right up in front here, I would like to reach out to those impacted directly and indirectly, that the Resource Center in Weed has a lot of avenues for resources, from housing assistance to power bill assistance, utility, I guess I'd call it, assistance. So if there is needs, just show up. We're also working on some food items. We have pallets of food volunteered. We're starting to make arrangements in that cycle, especially during the holiday season. We also are sponsoring a free event this Saturday from 10:30 to 1:30 on resiliency. So when your systems get impacted and are overwhelmed, there's a lot of things that start happening physically and mentally. And so I would invite not only the folks from Roseburg, plus those that were also indirectly impacted, I would also like to ask the staff if they would mind coming, if they can. I would think that we are being severely impacted at City Hall because we have a number of things, not only with Roseburg, but with other things happening right now. And I'm thinking there's a lot of people being overwhelmed with just it's a blunt attack on your nervous system. But I'm also with Pet. Having said that, I'm with Pet and Melissa. There's a lot of hope coming through. We've had challenges before, and I think we will meet those challenges. I moved to town, I think it was in, date myself, about 1980 or 1981, and started to open up a business, and the first thing that happened was IP sold to Roseburg, and I think there was a loss of over 400 jobs. So, been down this road before, but again, hopefully we'll bounce back stronger and better. So.
Well, I'd like to start with a positive note and thank the staff and the Chamber of Commerce for coming together to do the old-fashioned Christmas. While I was out of town on business travel, friends and family attended, and I got to see all the videos and photos, and I've heard a lot from people over the last few weeks on that. So thank you all for making that happen for the community and the beautification efforts there. We've heard quite a bit about the Roseburg closure. I do want to thank all of the people in the community that have come together with resiliency efforts, from the Resource Center, the independent businesses, and the volunteers to provide services. And I would strongly encourage our community to take advantage of those. I know it's, a lot going on, but there is a lot of help. There's a lot of resiliency, and it's important that we maintain hope and continue to come together as a community to support each other through this. And there, as has been alluded to, there are things being discussed in the background, and we're hoping that we'll have a positive outlook next year as things move forward for the community. With that, we will move on to the consent agenda. So we'll go through the items here. Item A, administration by motion. Council will consider resolution number 41-2025, establishing hourly compensation for reserve police officers. Item B, administration by motion. Council will consider approving the City of Weed 2026 capital improvement plan. Item C, administration by motion. Council will consider resolution number 42-2025, approving the social media policy. Item D, Public Works by motion. Council will consider approving resolution number 43-2025, accepting completion of the bypass water pipeline supply. Item E, City Clerk by motion. Council will consider approval of the November 13th, 2025 regular meeting minutes. Item F, by motion. Council will consider approving payment warrants dated November 6th, 2025 through November 12th, 2025, including any voided warrants and manually issued items totaling $507,499.17. And item G, by motion, council will consider approval and filing of the end-of-month report for November of 2025. Are there any items that council would like to have removed from consent?
I move to adopt the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Oh, you make a motion to adopt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt, and we'll do a vote by roll call.
Should we do see if there's any public comment? And just for the record, anytime the mayor requests public comment, he's also asking for public comment from the remote location. So Councilmember Mazzoni, if there's any public comment from the remote location where you're calling in from, we would ask you to just speak up if so.
Thank you.
Well, I guess we'll start with Councilmember Mazzoni's location. Is there any public comment on your side?
No, there is not.
Okay, do you have any public comment here tonight?
Not yet.
All right. Seeing as there is no public comment to either location, we'll move on to vote by roll call.
Councilmember Wetstein,
Aye.
Councilmember Palfini,
Aye.
Councilmember Barisan,
Aye.
Councilmember Mazzoni,
Aye.
Mayor Parham.
Aye. All right, motion carries. Next item is the council election of officers. That will be the election of the mayor and mayor pro tem by council. And I think we'll open up now for if we have any nominations.
Yep, I'd like to open the floor now for nominations for mayor.
I'll nominate Mayor Parham.
Okay, Mayor Parham, you've been nominated. Do you accept?
I do.
Are there any other nominations for mayor?
I would like, if they would accept, I would like to make a motion for Melissa Wetstein. I don't know if how busy her schedule is, so.
Councilmember Wetstein, do you accept the nomination for mayor?
Surprise, right? I mean, nothing against you. I just.
Yes.
Are there any other nominees? Okay, so we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote for Councilmember Parham to be mayor.
Aye.
I got that. Okay. Councilmember Mazzoni's a yes. Councilmember Wetstein?
Aye.
Councilmember Palfini?
She just voted for Darrell. So that's a sideways note, but okay, I'll vote aye.
Okay. Councilmember Barisan?
Aye.
And Mayor Parham?
Aye.
Okay, that moots the second nomination then, so Mayor Parham has been reelected as mayor.
What's that again?
Mayor Parham has been reelected as mayor
Right.
for the next year because the
Okay.
unanimous vote moots the second nomination.
I'll second that. Do we have to do any motion? We're done, right?
We're done
Now
with
he
mayor.
has to make-
Correct. I'm just
Now
trying to
he has
explain
to
that we're
hold-
not going to vote on
We're not going to
Councilmember
vote on him
Weston's
again. We have
nomination.
to hold another election right here for.
Now we
Mayor
have to hold the
Tem.
election for mayor pro tem. So nominations, and I'll let the
So Mayor,
clerk
you may
handle
go ahead and open the floor for pro tem.
All right, let's now open for nominations for Mayor Pro Tem.
I nominate Mr.
I'll
Palfini.
nominate, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Melissa.
I nominate Mr. Palfini.
I see nobody wants to be in charge here anymore. Okay.
Well, I'll nominate Melissa. Nothing personal, Ken.
Okay.
Do we have any other nominations? And do we have, we'll start with current Mayor Pro Tem Pelfini. Do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I accept the nomination.
And Councilmember Whitstein, do you accept the nomination?
Yes.
All right, now we'll go to vote by roll call.
Okay, so for Councilmember Palfini to be pro tem, Councilmember Mazzoni,
No.
Councilmember Virasan,
Aye.
Councilmember Palfini,
I said I was going to do that. Aye.
Councilmember Whitstein,
I'll shake it up for you. No.
Mayor Parham.
Aye.
Okay. What a confusing time
Sounds like the ayes
this
have
is.
it.
Thank you. Yes, I think.
All right, so it sounds like we have concluded that vote as well.
Made a little bit of a mess of it, thanks to me, but hey, I'm here to help.
We wanted to throw some excitement in. Ken.
Right?
I just wanted you to be an officer soon. Feel that hot water.
All right, next we'll move on to council business. Item A, administration by motion. Council will consider introduction and first reading by title only of ordinance 489-2025, repealing and replacing chapter 14.04, the water system of title 14, public services of the Weed Municipal Code regarding the regulation of water service, billing, customer responsibilities, water use restrictions, water waste, and the water shortage contingency plan.
Mr. Mayor, permission to speak?
Of course.
Thank you. This has been one of the first glaring things that I wanted to propose an update to. We had a situation where I had to go investigate something that y'all brought to my attention. I just looked into a constituent's water challenges, and during the course of doing that, I always check what our laws say first before I go investigate the system, so I know exactly what my boundaries are, and guidance from previous councils, of how I should handle the water utility. The challenge I had was I didn't find any. The water regulations you do have regulate certain aspects to it, but it's incomplete in my view. And so I've been working with Chris Davis. He looked this over. I also worked with David and McKinsey, our city attorneys, and this is the final product that we've come up with together. It's been a team effort, but I think this is a good step in terms of establishing some clarity in our water system. As you know, the water is the lifeblood outside of the companies that support us. Water is the lifeblood of our community, and I think that we need to protect it. And right now, we are unprotected. If anyone were to bring a claim against the city, I don't have a lot of, neither David nor I have a lot of defense to defend the city or the water supply that we oversee. And so this is my proposal to start protecting our water supply and people's access to it. And so that's the whole purpose of this ordinance. And it's been truly a team effort. Our engineers looked it over, and gave some suggestions, so I'm really happy with the product that we've produced. And if there's any questions, I'm sure Chris can answer them better than I, but I can at least answer the legal stuff.
I do want to thank staff for working diligently to put together a actual water ordinance. I was shocked to find out it was so lacking all this time. So it's very important. We've had a lot of challenges in the past with securing our water, and we've done a lot of work as a community to secure and maintain our water supply. So it's just, I think, a very critical ordinance that we're looking at tonight. Do we have any public comment or questions on this evening? Do we have any questions or comments from council?
I would just like to make sure this does simplify all the questions our staff may have on how to interpret when our potential client might come in and try to wreak havoc on or otherwise just question the validity of the water resources.
What I attempted to accomplish with this is a couple of things. One, establish clarity for everybody. The challenge that goes on in the background is either one of you has a constituent who has a challenge that they want resolved, and then you give it to us or staff to resolve it. And when you don't have clarity, that leaves it up to judgment. And there's we need that judgment in place because Chris is the expert, or, Jill's the expert. This covers our billing. It doesn't raise rate. This doesn't have rates. Rates are established by resolution. But what this does do is it adds clear boundaries of lines of demarcation between it establishes what the constituent or the customers are responsible for and what we are responsible for. That's number one, what I attempted to accomplish. Also, it establishes billing norms, and it works in tandem with what you've already approved with the residential pay agreement stuff that we've already approved. It also establishes some other things I've had experience with, like drought management, and instead of leaving it up to chance, we now have if you choose to pass this ordinance, it also establishes a procedure for automated procedures for when droughts do strike. So I tried to cover a lot of ground just to establish a good base ordinance, to start regulating our water supply better. That just adding clarity to a process, and it makes it easier on staff because what ends up happening is we spend a lot of man hours or personnel hours rather, investigating an issue, whereas now it takes a lot of the thought out of things we've already figured out already. If we establish the boundary as the meter to our mains as our challenge, and the meter and on the other side of the meter to the customer's house is the customer's responsibility. That alone resolves a lot of hours spent by staff investigating, because now we have that line of demarcation that, look, the constituent or customer is responsible for their property, or the owner. So it just adds a lot of clarity, and we can update it if we find some holes in this. This just gets the process started, because right now we don't have any. And so I would like to add this now so that we can at least have a product to improve, as we go forward, because right now we don't.
I'd like to make a motion for the introduction and first reading by title only of ordinance number 489-2025, repealing and replacing Weed Municipal Code, Chapter 14.04, Water System.
A second.
Do we have any other questions or comments from council?
I have one. I talked to the city manager a couple weeks ago about this, and I was personally shocked that we didn't have anything in place like that. Then we talked a little bit about some projects that went on there, and some of the companies were going in and just hooking up water to the hydrants and taking out, and it was kind of done on a good old boy system. At least that's what I was told. But I turned a few of them in when I was out on patrol a little bit, and they kind of handled it differently with meters. But how long has that been going on, and how many years, and how much water was taken out of there without really anyone knowing? So I was totally blown away by this. Was pretty a steady, common thing that was going on. So yeah, we had left ourselves wide open. So Dustin and the legal team and staff, I appreciate you getting on that and fixing those things like that. Are going to be money saving and just the way it's supposed to work. That's all I have to add.
And financially, this is going to protect the city too and the constituents, because the more we tighten our shot group and manage our water system better, it takes the pressure off of you in the long run. If we choose maintenance over waiting till things happen, that alone will save you the pressure of drastic rate changes if we put maintenance first. And so that includes the legal side of things just as much as the tank maintenance and everything else that I'm attempting to accomplish with you this evening, is just confronting the challenges head on and getting better at managing ourselves and reducing the amount of theft, because the people who pay the price are not the ones that commit the theft, it's the ones who pay on a regular basis, especially the families now that we've referenced who are struggling. And so this actually indirectly supports them too, because we're protecting the water system, and it gives Chris and I and the city staff the language that we need to start cracking down on these people too. So it does multiple things just by adding simple regulations and clarity.
All right. I think at this point, we're ready to move on to a roll call vote.
Public comment.
Councilmember Mazzoni?
Yes.
Councilmember Virasan?
Aye.
Councilmember Palfini?
Aye.
Councilmember Whitstang?
Aye.
Mayor Parham?
Aye. All right, motion carries. On to item B, finance by motion. Council will consider resolution number 44-2025, approving budget adjustments for year-end fiscal year 24-25.
This is just normal budget adjustments after working with our auditors and getting caught up on the fiscal process.
All right. Do we have any public questions or comment on the budget adjustments?
I'm not sure if I'm, AFA. Yeah,
No.
thank you. I'm not sure if this is the right place to ask the question, but it has something to do with finance, so I'm going to ask it, and maybe I'm in the wrong moment. But I was wondering what the City of Weed's budget, total amount that's inside the bank account is today. And then I was wondering how much money do we spend every year? And then, how much money we have left over, really. So how long we can stay alive as a city. And then if we have a really good staff that gets a lot of good grants, God bless them. I'm just looking at future property taxes, and I'm looking at future sales tax adjustments it's going to ripple off, and I'm just wondering what we got in the bank account. What do we spend, $500,000 a year, $100,000 a year, whatever that is, and how much money we have left over, how long can we last as we get more grants, stuff like that.
Do you have contact information?
I do.
If you're willing to wait till after the
Okay.
council meeting, I'd like
Perfect.
to get that from you, and I'll start getting those answers for you. It's in here, but I think.
Okay. Cool.
Thanks.
We
Thank
can just give him the whole budget, right?
Well, so
Answers
what
all of his questions.
So what I will say is that all of the city finances are public. They are on our website and accessible 24/7. I don't know the figures off the top of my head. I'm sure staff can help with that in lieu of digging through the website, but certainly encourage, especially those of you that are 7 followers on YouTube watching from home, to take a look at that. I will say that in my time here with the city, between the Planning Commission and the council, this staff has brought in tens of millions of dollars in grant money for infrastructure improvements, such as our water and sewer and roads. There's a lot of places that would be gravel roads, and we had a lot of places where the fire hydrants wouldn't work during a fire if it wasn't for the millions of dollars in grant money and work the staff has done in the time I've been involved, so.
And
Mayor. I also don't want to forget, we have partners who help with that. Great Northern has been a humongous partner for us in securing a lot of those grants. So I at least want to let them know about our partnership.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in this community to help all of us as citizens to thrive.
And
Thank you.
I would like to thank the staff for keeping us at the lowest sales tax rate in the local Siskiyou area. And so we are we understand the impact of sales tax to our community, and obviously take great lengths with our staff to get grants and other ways to raise revenue and make sure that the city is afloat.
Thank you.
Yeah, our sales tax rate's 7.5% currently. As someone who travels both internationally and stateside, I can say most places in California that I've been to this year are as high as 10% now, which is matching most VATs in Asia and Europe. There's even a few places in California beyond 10%. So,
Wow. Thank you.
all right.
Okay.
Do we have any other public comment this evening? I'm excited we have a public and an engaged one tonight.
Yeah, that's good.
Any questions or comments from council?
I move to adopt Resolution 44, 2025, approving the budget adjustments for fiscal year end 24, 25.
Second.
All right.
Could I get a comment? I would like the public also know that when we were doing our financials, this 203,000 was an anticipated number that we would need to transfer at some point in time. And so it's just one of those numbers that we have to readjust all of our balance sheets because of all the activity down here. So that's it. I'll make a motion to second, or excuse me, I'll second the motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. We'll move on to roll call vote.
Councilmember Mazzoni?
Oh, I marked.
Yes.
Mark already
Councilmember
did.
Birasson?
Yes.
Councilmember Palfini?
Aye.
Councilmember Whiteside?
Aye.
Mayor Parham?
Aye. Motion carries. We'll now move into item C, Public Works. By motion, council will consider approving resolution number 45-2025, entering into contract for municipal water tank maintenance. This is a 5-year contract with Superior Tank Solutions Incorporated.
Yes, Council. So on October 6th, we went out for an RFP for a water tank maintenance program. The reason why we did this is because we do have some water tanks that are in some dire need of maintenance. If we don't do something now, it will cost us a couple $1 million to replace this tank. And it's not just one tank, it's multiple tanks that need some maintenance. This water tank maintenance program, what's included in it, some of this maintenance is required by state for us to do. We have not done in the past. So this will get us back up to speed when it comes to the state regulators. This is a 5-year program. Superior, we got 2 bids, one from Superior Tank Solutions and one from USG. Both of you council members have received both of those packets. Thank you.
All right. Do we have any public questions or comments on the water tank maintenance plan? All right. Councilmember Zoni, I just want to make sure that there's no public comment on your side.
No, I'm good with it. The only thing I'd say was I'm surprised that these weren't maintained sooner. Again, it's something I wasn't aware of, but I'm glad it's all coming to the top now and everything will be taken care of.
I do want to thank Chris and Chief. This is something that I got alarmed by just through the tours that they've given me. And so I want to thank both of them for getting me in the loop so we can start confronting some of these challenges.
I'll make a comment if I could, Mayor.
Of course.
That we looked at this problem over 10 years ago. probably more than that. I'm thinking close to 15. I thought we had looked at it, we were going to proceed forward. Apparently, that wasn't the case. Surprise, surprise. But I'm glad Chris is on it now, really am. Thank you. It's kind of important, although we do have 4 brand-new tanks, I believe, in our town. There are a couple real old ones.
So we got 2 of them. We got the one up at Bel Air, and then we got a new one up on Hillside that was built shortly after the Bulls fire. Now, the one that was already up on Hillside, that was recoated on the outside, but none of the tanks have been cleaned since I've been here. It was well before I got here, since the last time the water tanks have been cleaned.
Okay.
My question-
I kind of knew, that's what we looked for, was maintenance, and we had more than that originally that were in bad shape, so I do appreciate it. Thank you.
With this program, what I will expect of this vendor is to not only do the annual inspections, but to make maintenance recommendations, and a lot of these maintenance recommendations should be included in their cost.
Does any of the 478,000 actually consider work, or is it just kind of
No,
inspecting?
there's work. So the Gazelle tank, which is right off of South Lee Boulevard, right past, once you get past to the houses, that will basically be completely refurbished. And all the tanks will be brought up to Cal OSHA safety standards also, because right now our tanks do not meet
That's
that.
that's in the 478?
Yes, sir.
Bargain, thank you.
It's partly why I like this program.
My question is this going to solve my copper problem at my own home?
No. Yeah, you might want to take a look at your piping on your house.
I know it's not that, because will it deal with the mineral consistency of the water?
So, yes, because of course, like every single water tank, yes, our water is very clean. That's the reason why the state, so there's only, I want to say there's only like 4 towns that do not have to chlorinate their water. We're one of them, or treat it at all. And we do take, of course, our routine samples every month, and of course, the samples that are required by the state on the wells. So yes, our water is very clean, but you also still have that settlement. So yeah, when you don't clean the tank, there's quite a bit of settlement that gets built up. So yes, that will actually improve the quality of the water.
Thank you.
How many certified people do we have?
Actually, we got 3 now. Myself, Trent, and Johnson, who just came over from the city of Mount Shasta. He had his water certificate, so we're up to 3 now.
That's good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments from council? All right, we'll move on to a roll call vote.
Did I have a motion?
Yeah, there was already a motion by Melissa, second by Mark, I think.
No, that was the last one. I didn't have a
Okay.
motion for this one.
I'll make a
We
motion.
did ask for public comment. Yeah, we asked for public comment. We'll ask a second time, though, if there's any public comment.
Apparently, they want clean water.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the water tank maintenance program contract award.
I second that motion.
Okay, now we'll move on to roll call vote.
Councilmember Mazzoni?
Yes,
Councilmember Virasan?
Yes.
Councilmember Palfini?
Aye.
Councilmember Whitstein?
Aye.
Mayor Parham?
Aye. Motion carries. Our next item, item D, facilities by motion. Council will consider approving resolution 46-2025, entering into contract with, is it Waikiki Restoration Incorporation for City Hall mold remediation.
Yes, so thank you. So after direction from the last city council, we moved forward with the RFP for mold remediation. We did do a 7-day RFP for it. We did only get one. We had 2 companies that came and took a look at it. One only bid on it, and the bid's in front of you. Last time I talked to them, they did not get back to me today on when a rough time frame would be. I know that last time I talked to them, they wanted to start next week, and it'd take about a couple weeks for them to complete this remediation.
Will there be any impact with the upcoming holiday, or will they be able to complete, do you think, based on previous conversations before we reopen in January?
I think it's going to be a stretch, especially with the upcoming holidays, for us to be able to open back up in January. I imagine probably like the early week or early part of January, we'll probably be back on open.
Okay.
But this is extensive, there's extensive work that needs to be done to remediate this. So it is going to take a while. It wouldn't surprise me if it took more than 2 weeks, but that's just my opinion.
Mr. Mayor, Chris, just so you know, we have worked on alternatives because we know we have to reopen for our customers. I do want to first thank the library for working with us and for Mountain Valley. I had a conversation with Shannon the other day, and we did have a little bit of we had to make some arrangements because the only spot that I have that is readily available is either here at the community center or at the library. They have a space where our old city attorney used to be. And so they used to see clients in that back room back there, and they've, in order to work with me, the Mountain Valley has moved some patients around so we can at least get our utility office open and city clerk's office open again. So that gives us a little more flexibility on the timing. We've still got one iron to figure out because until we talk to whoever you select for the bid, I don't know. The other open-ended question that I have to figure out with Chief here is the 911 operations. So we've got some ideas there, but until I have a firm plan. But at least we're going to get the utility office back open. The internet folks will be out tomorrow to get that established. And again, I want to thank the library staff for working with us and opening up, and the Mountain Valley, because without their cooperation, it would be a little more difficult. So at least we're making progress there on that front. We're also going to, Chris, I'm missing something.
Do we have, Mr. Mayor, do we have the phone number where people is the phone number the same number right now? I've had a question on it from a few folks as to where could I pay my bill?
The challenge we have, the only way we've been able to work around it in the short term is to say leave a message. We're learning that the message isn't as specific as it could be, so we can update that. But we're probably what's going to happen is we're going to post to the public the cell phone for the utility office, and that's how we'll answer calls that way when we
Is there
reopen.
something we could put like on our website, like a star, then it says,
Yeah.
that's what kind of like,
Yes, we can.
thanks.
We've got an alert through the App2G app, and we've also posted to our Facebook page. We can send something out with the utility, the next stage of utility bills.
So is the best number 5,000 or 5020? You know, don't want to call Sandy, no. Sorry, Sandy, I
It
gave you
rolls to
up.
my cell, it's all good. 5020 is the front office.
Okay.
But what the staff is finding that people they're just hanging up when they get the answering machine. They're not actually leaving their message with what they need. So, and then I believe then they turn around and call the police department.
And that's something that I need to get. A big reason why I need to get the utility office back open is right now our 911 lines are being taken up by utility calls.
Maybe we can tell a councilman will be walking around with a wheelbarrow so they can put all of their cash in there. I'll make sure they get it for the Christmas holidays. Okay, thanks, appreciate it.
So that's the workaround that we're doing to try to get stuff back open and get service back to our customers, because I know people have been frustrated with paying their utility bill, and we've been flexible. We didn't do shut-offs this month because of that. So we are trying to be flexible with people.
Thank you.
All right. Any
Question.
other questions?
Yeah, a question for Chris. How comprehensive is this contract? Meaning, I see the amount that they're requesting, and I hear you saying that there's extensive work, and those two things are not jiving in my mind. So I'm just wanting to know, are we going to stay near this number, or you think it's underbid?
No, so we should pretty much stay around this number, unless we ask for additional work that's not included. Superior Tank has broken down what they're gonna do to each tank with
We're
that
on mold
amount.
No,
remediation, Chris.
Huh?
Mold remediation.
Oh,
For
the
reme-
mold, that's,
for the mold
I'm sorry.
remediation.
That's okay.
So, my mind, yeah. Anyways, so that number is actually gonna change because we still have to get it tested for asbestos, for the stuff that has removed. And the biggest problem with the mold is that you can't see what's underneath once they start tearing down the walls. So this mold is actually really hard to bid on without tearing into stuff. So I expect a pretty big number, especially once they do an asbestos test, or once we get the asbestos test completed, because that will change the price dramatically, and we all know on how old that building is.
We
Can you
did
define
contract.
dramatically?
Sorry, Chris.
A little bit.
We did contract with FACS, which is a company recommended by SCORE, to do supplement testing. They're going to be coming next week from Tuesday to Thursday.
Great.
And so once we're done with that test, that's, as Chris is saying, that's going to determine a lot.
Well, just like with the roof that had been neglected for 20 years, it's important that we fix this for the health and safety of our public and our staff. So we're hopeful that it will be near what's been bid, but regardless of the cost, it needs to be done so we can reopen City Hall.
And FACS will be testing, and forgive me, I don't remember the acronym, but they are going to be testing for lead, they're going to be testing for asbestos, and they're going to be testing for mold. All three.
Excellent.
Do we have
All
any
right,
public?
well, I make a motion to approve Resolution 46, 2025, entering a contract with Wiki Restoration for City Hall mold remediation.
I'll second that motion.
All right, we'll move to a roll call vote.
Councilmember Mazzoni?
Yes.
Councilmember Virasan?
Yes.
Councilmember Palfini?
Aye.
Councilmember Whitstein?
Aye.
Mayor Perham?
Aye. Motion carries. Now I'll move on to staff reports. And
Wow.
we'll start with Chief Carter.
All right, good evening. Over the last month, we responded to 74 calls, covered by 2 full-time personnel, 8 resident firefighters, and 2 volunteers. We currently have 1 paid company officer and 1 volunteer company officer that are active. We did a lot of training over the last month. This Monday and Tuesday, I took a class in Concord that covered budget and fiscal responsibilities for the chief officer, so that was good. I also attended the CWPP workshop that was here last week, that was based off of the presentation that Julie presented to you guys at the last council meeting. It was pretty well attended, and people asked a lot of good questions, so it was good. Let's see, the archaeologist finished his first set of surveys on the properties for our fuel mitigation project. It was limited to the properties that turned in their right of entry agreements, but it was still about 300 acres of land, so that was good. And then last thing, 4 of our volunteers provided medical standby for the Run for Food on Thanksgiving Day. And then a few of them participated in the run. So just a thank you to them and everyone who came out to support that fundraiser. It was good. That's it.
So I do have a question, Chief. We have 300 acres that are approved for next year's upcoming mitigation. How many acres approximately are we still waiting to get right-of-way approvals from property owners on?
Around 400.
Okay.
Our project covers around 700 acres. A big portion of that right now is with the railroad. And right now, it's delayed because of, this is their project season. So our right of entry agreement with them is one of many that they're dealing with for all their projects going on. So once we get that, that will fill in a lot of that 400 acres that we're waiting for.
Okay.
But 300 acres is a good place to start. We can get a lot done on that. And that was part of the agreement with the archaeologist, that we asked if he could start on what we had available, and then he'll have to come do another survey on the other properties once we get those right entry agreements, and he was willing to do that, which was nice. So we didn't have to wait for all of them.
No dinosaurs or pyramids found?
He's finalizing his report, but not that I've heard.
All right.
So
Is there a, excuse me, go ahead.
is there a plan to go ahead and do a RFP for the 300 while we're waiting for the railroad? In other words,
Yes.
are we ready to get mitigation started even if we don't have all of the land approved?
Yeah, so working with the RCD, once we get the finalized report back from the archaeologist, that will give them the ability to make a good bid proposal based off of the acres that may have to be set aside, or we might have to do some different form of a mitigation because of the archaeological surveys. But yes, once that report's finalized, then we can move the bid forward for the properties we have done. So that was part of the plan, because we knew not everyone was going to get them in on time, but we didn't want to delay it any further. So once we get those done, we'll start with what we have, and then as we continue to get them in, we'll finish the rest.
I wouldn't have this question if I had been at the meeting. However, is there a map that has those impacted areas that we're going to be addressing as far as?
On this, for the CWPP?
For the forest, however you're going to mitigate our forest area?
There is, yes.
Okay.
And just to clarify, the CWPP meeting and the fuel mitigation project we have are two separate things.
Okay.
We utilize the county CWPP as part of our plan to receive the grant funding that we got. But Julie and Jay that came and presented to you are using more grant funds to update the weed, they're calling it now the Greater Weed CWPP, which is Hammond Ranch, Weed, Lake Chestina, and over by Stewart Springs.
Does that have the ability to get us more funds for the whole project? I would think it would.
The CWPP doesn't necessarily, but it is utilized when you apply for grants. Usually one question is that
Okay.
they have, that the area has a CWPP to use kind of as a prescription on how to mitigate the fuel.
Okay. Thanks, I appreciate it.
On a separate note, given recent events, has there been any recent efforts to look for grants for a new firehouse?
There has been effort put into that for a long time now. One of the kind of setbacks, I guess you could say, is a lot of the grants require you to own the property that you're looking to build on, and then a lot of them also require plans to already be completed. So we're looking into those grants even more, but nothing has been finalized, or I haven't found one that'll work yet.
And I suppose this is a good time to clarify, because I've seen a lot of information on social media and things like that for the folks here tonight and our 7 viewers on YouTube. The current fire hall is on Roseburg property and is through a contract, I believe it was 1992 when that was created between the city and Roseburg for that fire hall. So that is something that we're very much paying attention to right now, as we don't know where things will be in the future with that property and the ownership of said properties. The other thing I do want to clarify for everybody, and because a lot of people that are new maybe to the area or haven't paid attention, is that Roseburg Forest Products land is not within the city limits of the city of Weed. It is actually all sitting on county land currently at the moment. And that's something else that we're looking into. So just that way there's no misinformation or questions for the public. And of course, if you have questions, please reach out to city.
Is there any warehouse, I mean, obviously, I know in the state of California with trying to move housing, there's sort of prefab plans. Does such a thing exist between CAL FIRE or fire agencies, that there's a prefab type building that accommodates a fire station of our size?
Like, could
I
we
don't
get an
know of any
existing plan?
prefabbed, but I do know, a couple years ago, Lake Shastina Fire Department got a significant donation to build their new fire station, and it's pretty basic and straightforward, and it was pretty cost-effective. And it's a larger metal building. You know, it would be similar to a warehouse, but that's, you know, definitely something to consider.
I
Very
would be
cost-effective.
interested to see if there was somebody willing to share plans for a firehouse. I mean, obviously, it would be up to the city council to be able to find a location. But if we could find a cost-effective way to receive a plan that would accommodate your fire department, or the fire department and the police department, so that we can begin considering whether it's in the best interest to repurpose something or consider significant grants that are available now and supply the city of Weed with a better first responder setup.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, like I said, we've been looking around for a while, mainly because we've outgrown our facility a while ago. So I'll look into that and see what I can find.
Thank you.
So I have one more. I'm sorry, did you need to speak? Go ahead. Oh, well, I was going to ask, has Roseburg indicated any point where we have for anybody that doesn't know, we do have a contract with Roseburg on fire protection.
That's my question.
And they're currently still operating their cogen plant, am I correct? So that still needs protection, but besides that, have we received any notification that they're throwing us out yet, or anything of that nature?
No, sorry.
No, when
Okay.
they came to my office and talked to me the day they closed the plant, and I asked that question, they said they have no reason to change anything, and they plan on keeping everything the way it is for the time being.
Okay.
I don't know how or if that will change once the powerhouse, once they run through the contracts that they have with the powerhouse to stay open. But yeah, that's definitely a consideration. There's currently no, I at least can't think off the top of my head, no place that would house our equipment and our people anywhere else.
Do we have any indication as to when that powerhouse might or might not?
No, they have
Okay.
not communicated with us yet.
Okay. All right.
I would like to put in a request that if we do build a new facility, which it sounds like it's becoming more urgent.
I would only say it defines a timeline for us, so again, those are kind of nice.
Yeah,
I think we probably need to start making some decisions before early spring.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree
I
with
just was
that.
trying to define how quickly we need to make those decisions.
I would like to request if we all share the same facilities. I
Okay.
like a universal unit better than split.
I would also like to see the firehouse a little more central and apparent to
Yes.
our citizens.
Agreed.
Yep.
Well, we are in contact. Today I had a conversation with Siskiyou Economic Development and as well as our it's Hegseth, our county supervisor. Thank you. I've also, with Mr. Copseth. And so I am also on your behalf initiating those conversations regarding the firehouse and everything else. and respond, how we're going to respond to the Roseburg challenge.
A lot of conversations.
Yep.
Welcome to the firestorm, so to speak.
Well, thank you, Chief, for your report and answering all of our questions diligently. I know it's, with the recent announcement from Roseburg, it's all in the forefront of everyone's minds. Director Davis.
I got nothing for you tonight. Thank you.
All right. Chief Mayberry.
Next week will be our 20th Shop with a Cop. This is our Weed PD one. It's not the one that they do up at the in Wairika. It's 20 years that we've been doing that. We take anywhere from 7 to 10 kids yearly on that, and they look forward to it. I've already had several people ask me about it. I just want to thank the unnamed group that every year puts together the Christmas baskets. We had signups last week. Had quite a few turn out on the first day, which is just a sign the times. They don't want to be mentioned by name, but they know who they are, and I just thank them for all their efforts for putting that together. They'll be giving those out a week from tomorrow as well. So it'll be a busy day next week.
All right. Well,
Are you still taking donations for Shop with a Cop, or is that over?
So we've actually had some pretty good donations, and then when I became the chief, I left the program in a pretty good standing. So we haven't been as aggressive about seeking donations lately because we've had some people that have just given without being solicited. We do take donations year-round if anybody wants to donate to that. But you just haven't been receiving the letters because we've been ahead of the game a little bit and not having to go out and find donors. So.
okay. How many kids do you have in the program this year?
Well, we usually anticipate 10. The last number I had heard from the elementary school was 7 this year. So that's what they're letting us know. But that can always change day of. We've shown up and had less. We've shown up and had more. So, and we always deal with that. We anticipate, being able to cover that.
All right. Thank you.
So I could be equally fair with my peppering of questions. Have you, Chief, been looking for any grants for potentially moving the police department from its current location?
There's not very many police grants out there. Most everything lies on the fire side. The only things that we've ever been able to find are loans. Those are usually through USDA rural loans. I've never seen a grant specifically for police department in my time. I mean, there's small grants like the one we got to update the gym that our fitness center. We call it a gym. It's a room. It's a fitness center. Those exist, but as far as a full PD, I've never seen one that would. The one that we spoke of last council meeting, I'm not sure where that funding was coming from. Again, that was over 20 years ago, and or around 20 years ago. That was, I believe, a matching fund grant, but that was a public safety building, not just a police-specific building.
All right, well, if you happen to see any public safety buildings or family justice center grants, I'd be interested to review them, see what we could do.
All right. City Clerk.
Very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Are you going on vacation?
No. No, apparently I'm going to the library building.
All right. And our city manager.
Thank you all for the opportunity to serve. I know my heart is with the families, but I also mirror what message we're trying to portray, which is, yes, we're compassionate and we want to help. We want to bond together and help people. But like you said, it's also a message of hope. I also want to say how spoiled I am to have the staff that I do. I wouldn't have been able to accomplish or report to you or the public anything that I've accomplished, whether it be the water ordinance or cleaning up City Hall or fire mitigation or any of that stuff, unless I don't have a good supporting cast. I want to thank them for allowing me to. They've done a good job of supporting me, and I'm just very thankful to everybody. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
All right, and our city attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. Couple things, just want to make sure you guys are aware of some new legislation. I don't believe I've updated you previously on SB 827, which equally applies to department heads. So you guys know that you do an ethics training every 2 years, the AB 1234 training. That training is now going to apply to department heads. They're going to need to take it if they haven't been already. And then there's going to be a new fiscal and financial training that is also going to be required of public officials, specifically related to how to read a budget, you know, how to understand the finances related to city business. These requirements for existing officials, you're going to need to meet these training requirements by January of 2028, so you have 2 years to do it. Anybody who starts after January has to do it within 6 months. So I just wanted to get that on your radar. It's going to be something we're going to have to be dealing with. I think people are already starting to figure out what this financial training is going to entail, who's going to be providing it. So those things are in the works. We'll have some time, fortunately, to take those trainings, but it's another 2 hours out of your life in addition to the ethics and the sexual harassment trainings that you guys have to take as well.
I think, doesn't the League of Cities have several brochures that give you a little heads up on all of
Yeah,
those things?
the ILG, the Institute of Local Government, which is a subsidiary agency of both the League of California Cities and CSAC, the county, sort of equivalent to the league. They have, I believe they have a free ethics training that they provide. The sexual harassment training, I'm not too sure about where you can get that. And so I'm sure once the financial training kind of gets off the ground early next year, we'll figure out if there's a free provision. But those are often they're provided at Cal City's annual conference or at the mayor and new council members conferences as well. And then the other one was SB 707, which is changes to the Brown Act. Most of the major changes won't apply to weed based on the size, but there is going to be some changes in how teleconferencing happens. So until now, we've had this provision for a just cause or emergency circumstance ability to zoom into a meeting and not publish your location, like, for example, how Councilmember Mazzoni is currently, he's published his location on the agenda, so that's not going away. That's still going to be the same. But there are changes to this just cause and emergency circumstance. They're kind of combining it. The Brown Act also now specifically identifies the ability for a council member to appear remotely based on an ADA accommodation. So there was a recent AG opinion that basically said, yeah, you have to be able to accommodate a council member to appear remotely if it's required for a disability. And so now the Brown Act has been amended so that there is the ability, based on a particular disability, to appear remotely. And the interesting thing about that ability to zoom in, essentially, is that you are still counted as physically present. And so some of the things like roll call votes may not be necessary. So it's an interesting new tweak. Obviously, if something like that comes up, you'll want to touch base with the clerk so that we can work on providing that accommodation if it's necessary. There are a number of other changes that are interesting for lawyers, maybe not so interesting for you guys. So if you are interested, we did send a memo out to the clerk and the city manager, and we can get you a copy of that if you're interested in some of those more detailed things. For example, for some of the multi-jurisdictional bodies that you guys sit on, there are going to be some additional teleconferencing options depending upon how distant the meeting location is from where you live or work. So look for that in the new year. And unless you have any questions, I would also wish you Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for your report. And before we move on to adjournment, I will also take the opportunity to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year with our staff, council, and community. And we've had a rough year with fires and business closures and things like that, but we do have a lot of positive items to look forward to going into 2026, and we have a very resilient community. So very hopeful for positive change coming, and that's all I will say about that at the moment. So.
May I also wish everybody a Merry Christmas, but I'm also just going to give one more plug into Tapping Into Resilience, which is Saturday, 10:30 to 1:30. Again, if people are in stress, I don't really, sometimes I foo-foo these classes, as I would say, but these people are extremely talented. I was impressed. I've been to a couple of them. Very, very talented folks. So 10:30 to 1:30, by the way, right here. So if you stay long enough, you can be.
I make a motion to adjourn open session?
I'll second that.
All right. Unless we have any public comment, we'll move on to a roll call vote.
Councilmember Mazzoni?
Yes.
Councilmember Barisan?
Aye.
Councilmember Papini?
Aye.
Councilmember Wetstein?
Aye.
Mayor Parham?
Aye. We are so adjourned.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays.
Thanks, Mark.